The sound of silence. They called themselves the Meridian Empire, masters of sonic manipulation and self-proclaimed architects of universal harmony. For 10,000 years, they had swept across the galaxy, their crystalline ships radiating patterns of sound that could shatter planets or reshape matter itself. No civilization had ever withstood their symphonic might, until they encountered Earth. Dr. Maya Patel stood in her underground laboratory at CERN, her fingers pressed against the quantum resonance chamber as she felt the vibrations of her latest experiment. She couldn't hear the results. She had been deaf since birth, but she could feel them, understand them in ways that her colleagues couldn't. The quantum entanglement patterns displayed on her holoscreen showed exactly what she had predicted. Information could be transmitted faster than light, without sound, without conventional signals. She didn't know it yet, but her lifetime of working in silence would soon become humanity's greatest weapon. The Meridian scout ships arrived on a Tuesday, their crystalline forms refracting sunlight across the skies of every major city on Earth. Humanity's first contact with an alien civilization should have been a moment of celebration. Instead, the Meridians' arrival message shattered every window in a 100-mile radius of their ships. Primitive species, the message resonated through the bones of every human who could hear it. Your discord will be harmonized. Resistance is mathematically impossible. But Maya didn't hear their threat. She felt the vibrations through her lab floor, saw the patterns of destruction on her instruments, and immediately understood something that the Meridians, in all their ancient wisdom, had overlooked. Sound was just one way to experience the universe. Within hours of the Meridians' arrival, Earth's military forces launched their first response. Conventional weapons, missiles, railguns, even experimental plasma weapons, passed harmlessly through the crystalline ship's sonic shields. The Meridians responded with their signature weapon, the Symphony of Submission, a precisely calibrated frequency that had brought countless civilizations to their knees. Except it didn't work quite as they expected. While millions were indeed affected by their sonic assault, humanity's response wasn't the uniform surrender they had encountered on thousands of other worlds. The deaf community continued their work unaffected. Those who could hear adapted with remarkable speed, developing countermeasures ranging from sophisticated noise-canceling technology to simple yet effective earplugs. Children started sharing viral videos of themselves dancing to the alien invasion beat. In her laboratory, Maya worked feverishly with her team, watching as the quantum entanglement patterns shifted and changed. Her colleagues Dr. James Chen and Dr. Sarah Okonjo had initially been skeptical of her theories about using quantum mechanics to create a form of communication that transcended conventional physics. Now, as they watched the Meridian ships attempting to establish their sonic control grid in Earth's orbit, they began to understand. The Meridians aren't just using sound as a weapon, Maya signed, her movements quick and precise as her colleague Sarah interpreted for the others. They're using it as their primary means of faster-than-light communication, ship control, everything. But they're doing it inefficiently. Our quantum entanglement system doesn't just duplicate their capabilities, it fundamentally surpasses them. Above them, the Meridian ships began their standard invasion pattern, positioning themselves at harmonic nodes around the planet. They had performed this same maneuver on 10,000 worlds. Their tactical computers calculated a 100% chance of success based on their previous encounters. They prepared to unleash their planet-wide symphony of submission, a cascading wave of sonic energy that would bring humanity to its knees. But in her quiet lab, Maya had just made a breakthrough. Her fingers flew across her specialized interface as she input the final calculations. The quantum entanglement field she had developed didn't just transmit information. It could interact with the very fabric of space-time itself. And unlike the Meridians' sound-based technology, it operated in perfect, absolute silence. "We're ready for the first test," she signed to her team. "Let's show them there's more to communication than making noise." As she initiated the quantum field, Maya felt a subtle vibration through her feet, different from anything she had experienced before. On her screens, she watched as the quantum field expanded, intersecting with the Meridian ship's sonic patterns. The result was immediate and spectacular. The carefully orchestrated harmonics of the nearest Meridian vessel collapsed into chaos. For the first time in their 10,000-year history of conquest, the Meridian Empire encountered something they couldn't comprehend: a civilization that could fight back without making a sound. As alarms blared in their crystal ships and their sonic systems began to fail, the Meridian commanders faced an uncomfortable realization. Their mathematical certainty of victory had just encountered its first variable: human ingenuity. And Maya Patel, standing in her silent laboratory, allowed herself a small smile. The real battle was just beginning, and humanity had already changed the rules of engagement. The universe was about to learn that true power didn't always come with a symphony. Sometimes it came in perfect silence. The frequency of fear. The Meridian High Command had never encountered failure before. Their crystalline war room, suspended in high orbit above Earth's northern hemisphere, hummed with discordant frequencies, their equivalent of agitation. Supreme Harmonizer Valith watched the holographic display of their first wave's defeat with growing concern. Impossible, they resonated, their crystalline form vibrating with frustration. Their technological level indicates no capability for this kind of resistance. How are they disrupting our harmonic matrices? On Earth, the answer to that question was spreading faster than the Meridians could track. Dr. Maya Patel's quantum entanglement breakthrough had been shared with research facilities worldwide through a network that the sound-dependent Meridians couldn't detect or intercept. While the alien invaders searched for conventional radio signals and acoustic communications, humanity was quietly building something unprecedented. In her expanded laboratory, now moved to a hardened facility deep within the Rocky Mountains, Maya worked with a global team of scientists. Her quantum interface had been refined, streamlined, and was being mass-produced in underground facilities across the planet. But it wasn't just the technology that made humanity's response unique. It was how they used it. The Meridians expect logic, pattern, predictability. Maya signed to the assembled team, her movements captured by cameras and translated instantly through the quantum network to scientists worldwide. Their entire civilization is built on mathematical harmony. But human music, human creativity, it thrives on improvisation, on breaking patterns. Dr. Chen, who had joined her from CERN, added his own insight. We're not just building a weapon, we're creating a new form of communication that they fundamentally cannot understand. Their ships, their weapons, their entire strategy relies on predictable harmonic progression. We're introducing jazz into their classical symphony. The Meridians launched their second wave of attacks with modified frequencies, confident they had calculated for all possible human countermeasures. Their sonic weapons now operated across a broader spectrum, designed to overcome the simple defenses that had protected some humans in the first assault. They weren't prepared for what happened next. As their ships moved into position, they encountered something that defied their harmonics: random quantum fluctuations that seemed to follow no pattern, no mathematical progression. Worse, these fluctuations appeared to be intentional, coordinated in a way that their most advanced analytical systems couldn't predict. Humanity had taken Maya's quantum communication system and turned it into something more. Each defensive installation now operated independently, responding to Meridian attacks with quantum disruptions that were based on human music. Jazz, rock, classical, folk songs from every culture on Earth. The quantum fields resonated with the chaotic creativity of human musical expression, creating interference patterns that shattered the Meridians' carefully orchestrated assault. In New Delhi, a defensive array pulsed with the rhythms of classical Indian ragas. In Lagos, another system disrupted Meridian harmonics with patterns derived from African drum circles. In Rio de Janeiro, the quantum fields danced to samba rhythms. Each installation was effective not because it followed a perfect mathematical progression, but precisely because it didn't. The Meridian ships, for the first time in their history, began to retreat in confusion. Their commanders couldn't comprehend how their attacks were being countered by what appeared to be pure chaos. What they didn't understand was that humans had spent millennia creating art from chaos, finding beauty in imperfection, and turning discord into harmony. Maya stood at her control station, feeling the vibrations of the quantum fields through her specialized interface. Around her, screens displayed the retreat of the Meridian fleet, but she was focused on something else, a pattern in the quantum noise that suggested the Meridians weren't just retreating. They were adapting. They're learning, she signed urgently to her team. They're starting to understand that they can't predict our responses, so they're changing their entire strategic approach. We need to prepare for something bigger. Dr. Okonjo, monitoring the quantum sensor arrays, confirmed Maya's suspicion. The energy readings from their fleet are changing. They're reconfiguring their entire harmonic matrix. Whatever they're planning next, it's not going to be like anything we've seen before. In the crystalline war room, Supreme Harmonizer Val-Eth had come to a decision. If these humans could turn chaos into a weapon, then the Meridian Empire would respond with something that would rewrite the very laws of harmonic warfare. They began preparations for their most devastating weapon, the synchronicity wave, a sonic attack so powerful it could potentially crack Earth's crust. But as the Meridians prepared their ultimate weapon, they failed to notice something crucial. Humanity wasn't just defending anymore. They were innovating, collaborating, creating. In labs and bunkers across the planet, Maya's quantum technology was being combined with other human innovations in ways that would soon challenge everything the Meridians thought they knew about the physics of sound and space. The next phase of the war was about to begin, and it would prove that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their technology. It was in their ability to create something new from the ashes of what was thought impossible. Whispers in the dark. The first tremors began 3 days after the Meridian retreat. Subtle at first, barely noticeable except to the most sensitive seismographs, but Maya Patel felt them through her feet as she worked in her laboratory. The vibrations were different from anything she'd experienced before, not random like natural earthquakes, but structured, building toward something. They're testing frequencies, Dr. Chen announced, his face illuminated by the quantum resonance displays. These tremors, they're probing our planet's natural resonant frequency. Maya's hands moved swiftly as she signed her response, her expression grave. They're preparing for the synchronicity wave. We intercepted their communications. They're planning to match Earth's harmonic frequency and amplify it until the planet tears itself apart. The global quantum network hummed with activity as scientists worldwide shared data, theories, and increasingly desperate ideas for counteracting what was coming. The Meridians had never failed to conquer a planet, and now humanity understood why. Any civilization that couldn't stop the synchronicity wave simply ceased to exist. But humans had one advantage the Meridians hadn't counted on. They had been studying their own planet's destruction for centuries. Every nuclear test, every deep Earth drilling project, every seismological study had given them insights into Earth's geological behavior. More importantly, they understood concepts that the harmony-obsessed Meridians had never considered: dampening, interference, and controlled chaos. In a repurposed concert hall in Vienna, Dr. Isabella Martinez, a leading Earth scientist and former concert pianist, made a breakthrough. She wasn't looking at geological data or quantum readings. She was studying musical scores. Look at how we handle resonance in music, she explained over the quantum network, her fingers dancing across a piano keyboard modified to interface with Maya's quantum system. When a note threatens to overwhelm others, we don't try to match it or overpower it. We introduce complementary notes that enhance and redirect its energy. Maya felt the vibrations of the piano through her quantum interface, watching as the patterns formed in the holographic display. Her eyes widened as she understood what Isabella was suggesting. They didn't need to stop the synchronicity wave. They needed to reshape it. The next 72 hours saw the largest collaborative scientific effort in human history. The quantum network connected millions of minds working on different aspects of the same problem. Musicians worked alongside physicists, geologists partnered with audio engineers, and martial artists shared insights with mechanical engineers about redirecting energy. Maya's team coordinated it all from their Rocky Mountain facility, now expanded into a vast underground complex. The quantum entanglement system had evolved beyond simple communication. It had become a global consciousness, allowing humanity to think and innovate as one while maintaining the creative chaos that made them unique. The Meridians base everything on perfect mathematical harmony. Maya signed to the global conference. But Earth itself isn't perfectly harmonious. It's a chaos of competing frequencies. That's not our weakness. It's our strength. We can use that chaos. They called it Project Symphony, though its official name was the Planetary Resonance Adaptation and Integration System, PRAIS. The concept was beautiful in its complexity. Thousands of quantum resonators would be placed at key points around the globe, each programmed to respond to the synchronicity wave, not by blocking it, but by adding their own frequencies to create something new. The Meridians detected the construction of these devices, but misinterpreted their purpose. To them, the resonators appeared to be primitive attempts at sonic shielding. They adjusted their attack plans accordingly, confident that no civilization at Earth's level of development could possibly understand the true nature of harmonic warfare. As the tremors increased in strength, Maya worked with her team to fine-tune the quantum resonators. Each device was unique, programmed with patterns derived from Earth's natural sounds, whale songs, wind through canyons, thunderstorms, and even the subsonic rumbles of tectonic plates. When combined, they wouldn't just protect Earth, they would turn the entire planet into an instrument unlike anything the galaxy had ever heard. In orbit, the Meridian fleet moved into position for their final attack. Supreme Harmonizer Valith supervised the charging of the synchronicity wave generators, their crystalline ships arranging themselves in a perfect geometric pattern above Earth. Their calculations showed a 100% probability of success, just as they had for every previous planetary conquest. But in her silent world, Maya felt the readiness of the quantum network, the combined determination of billions of humans working in concert while maintaining their beautiful, unpredictable individuality. The Meridians were about to learn that harmony didn't have to mean uniformity, and that sometimes the most powerful music came from embracing discord. As the Meridian fleet began their attack sequence, Maya's hands moved in one final command to the global network. Let's show them Earth's song. The battle for humanity's survival was about to reach its crescendo, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Symphony of War. The synchronicity wave began as a single, pure note that rippled through space. The Meridian fleet, arranged in their perfect geometric pattern above Earth, channeled power into their crystalline ships until they glowed like artificial stars. Supreme Harmonizer Valith watched with cold satisfaction as the wave built upon itself, growing stronger with each passing second. On Earth, Maya Patel stood at her control station, her hands hovering over the quantum interface. She couldn't hear the Meridian attack, but she could see its effects in the holographic displays surrounding her. A cascading wave of harmonic energy that would tear the planet apart if allowed to reach its full strength. All stations, prepare for wavelength integration, Dr. Chen announced through the quantum network. Around the globe, thousands of resonators hummed to life, each adding its unique voice to Earth's defense. The synchronicity wave hit the atmosphere with the force of 1,000 nuclear detonations. Buildings swayed, oceans rippled, and the ground itself began to vibrate at its fundamental frequency. The Meridians watched, expecting to see the familiar signs of planetary collapse that had heralded their victory on so many other worlds. Instead, something unprecedented happened. The quantum resonators activated in sequence, each responding not with opposition, but with harmony. From the depths of the Pacific Ocean, whale songs merged with the synchronicity wave. In the Australian outback, resonators pulsed with the rhythms of ancient Aboriginal songlines. The Amazon rainforest added its symphony of life, while the wind howling through the Himalayas contributed their ancient melodies. Maya felt the vibrations change through her quantum interface. Her fingers danced across the controls, coordinating the global response. The holographic displays showed something the Meridians had never seen before. Their perfect wave was being transformed, reshaped by the countless voices of Earth itself. In the crystalline war room, Valith watched in growing confusion as their sensors reported impossible readings. The synchronicity wave wasn't destroying the planet. It was becoming part of a larger symphony, one that defied their understanding of harmonic physics. Impossible, Valith resonated, their crystalline form vibrating with distress. Increase power to all generators. The wave must not be corrupted. The Meridian fleet responded, pouring more energy into their attack. The synchronicity wave doubled in strength, then tripled. On Earth, the strain on the quantum network became enormous. Several resonators overloaded and shut down, their loss creating dangerous gaps in the defensive symphony. But humanity had planned for this too. As resonators failed, human musicians stepped in, connecting directly to the quantum network through interfaces based on Maya's original designs. A jazz quartet in New Orleans improvised patterns that filled gaps in the southeastern United States. A traditional Chinese orchestra in Beijing strengthened the network across Asia. Indigenous drummers in Africa maintained the rhythm that kept their continent stable. The Meridians had never encountered anything like it, a defense that grew stronger through imperfection, that turned chaos into strength. Their sensors couldn't predict where the next frequency would come from or how it would affect their wave. For the first time in their history of conquest, their mathematical models failed completely. Maya felt the turning point before anyone else saw it. Through her quantum interface, she sensed the moment when Earth's symphony began to push back against the Meridian attack. The synchronicity wave, designed to destroy through perfect harmony, was being transformed by humanity's blend of science and art into something entirely new. Now, she signed, and Dr. Chen relayed her command through the quantum network. Everyone, push with everything you have. Across the planet, humans added their voices to the symphony. It wasn't just the musicians now. Every human with a connection to the quantum network contributed. Children hummed lullabies. Elderly couples sang folk songs. Teenagers blasted rock music. Each individual voice was tiny, imperfect, but together they created something profound. The transformed synchronicity wave began to ripple back toward the Meridian fleet. Their crystalline ships, designed to channel and amplify pure harmonic energy, couldn't handle the complexity of Earth's response. Cracks appeared in their perfect formations as the symphony of humanity washed over them. Valith watched in horror as their sensors overloaded, unable to process the cacophony of frequencies assaulting their fleet. This defies all harmonic laws, they resonated. How can discord create such power? In her silent world, Maya smiled as she felt the vibrations of victory through her feet. The Meridians had never understood that true harmony didn't come from mathematical perfection. It came from the beautiful complexity of millions of voices singing together, each in their own way. The crystalline ships began to shatter, their perfect structures unable to withstand the chaos of human creativity. As the Meridian fleet fell into disarray, humanity's symphony rose to a crescendo that would be remembered across the galaxy for generations to come. A new frequency. In the aftermath of the battle, the skies above Earth glittered with crystalline fragments, a new ring of debris that would remind humanity of their victory for generations to come. But it wasn't the destruction of the Meridian fleet that would change the galaxy. It was what happened next. Maya Patel stood before the United Nations General Assembly 3 months after the battle, her quantum interface allowing her to feel the vibrations of anticipation in the room. On screens behind her, representatives from the Meridian Empire waited in their own crystalline chamber, their forms still showing signs of damage from the Great Battle. "We stand at a crossroads," Maya signed, her words translated simultaneously into both human languages and Meridian harmonics. What we discovered in defending Earth wasn't just a weapon. It was a new understanding of the universe itself. The quantum network that had saved Earth had evolved. In the months following the battle, scientists discovered that the blending of meridian harmonic technology with human quantum systems had opened up entirely new avenues of physics. The universe, it seemed, sang in more frequencies than either humanity or the Meridians had imagined. Supreme Harmonizer Valdeth, who had survived the destruction of their fleet, addressed the assembly. Their once rigid harmonic patterns now contained subtle variations, the first signs that even the Meridians were learning to embrace imperfection. For 10,000 years, we sought to impose perfect harmony on the galaxy. Valdeth resonated, their frequencies translated through the quantum network. We believed that chaos was the enemy of progress. Humanity has shown us that we were wrong. True harmony comes not from enforcing order, but from finding unity in diversity. The peace treaty that followed wasn't just an agreement between two species, it was a fundamental shift in how civilizations across the galaxy would interact. The Meridians began sharing their harmonic technology, while humanity taught them about the power of improvisation and creative chaos. Together, they discovered that the universe itself seemed to respond to this new approach. Dr. Chen, working with Meridian scientists, made the next breakthrough. The quantum harmonic hybrid technology didn't just allow for communication and defense. It could be used to literally sing new worlds into being. Dead planets could be revitalized by applying the right frequencies. Space itself could be shaped by carefully orchestrated symphonies of quantum energy. Maya found herself at the forefront of this new age. Her inability to hear, once considered a disability, had given her unique insights that now helped bridge the gap between human and Meridian understanding. She worked with both species to develop what became known as the Universal Symphony Protocol, a way of using music and quantum physics together to explore and shape the cosmos. 5 years after the battle, humanity launched its first quantum harmonic ship, the ESS Beethoven. Unlike the rigid crystalline vessels of the Meridian fleet, it was designed to adapt and change, its shape and function shifting in response to the music of space itself. Maya stood on its bridge as captain, feeling the vibrations of human and Meridian crew members working together in imperfect harmony. The ship's quantum sensors detected something that the Meridian's pure harmonic technology had never been able to perceive. Patterns in the cosmic background radiation that suggested the universe itself was built on principles of both order and chaos. Every galaxy, every star, every planet played its own unique part in a cosmic symphony that was still being written. We were wrong to fear chaos, Valdeth admitted during the ship's maiden voyage. Their crystalline form had evolved, now incorporating swirling patterns that would have been considered flaws in the old Meridian Empire. Your species taught us that the most beautiful music comes from embracing all frequencies, even those that seem discordant. As the ESS Beethoven prepared for its first quantum harmonic jump into deep space, Maya reflected on how far they'd come. Humanity had not only survived but had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. Their victory hadn't come from superior firepower or advanced technology, but from something uniquely human. The ability to find strength in diversity, to create beauty from chaos, and to hear music in the silence between the stars. She gave the command to jump, feeling the ship respond through her quantum interface. Around her, human and Meridian crew members worked together, each contributing their own voice to the greater harmony. The ship sang as it leaped into the unknown, carrying with it the promise of a new age where difference was celebrated and perfect harmony meant embracing imperfection. As they traversed the cosmos, other civilizations began to learn Earth's song. The galaxy itself seemed to resonate with new possibilities, as species that had lived in fear of the Meridians discovered their own unique voices. And in the depths of space, in the quantum vibrations between stars, a new kind of music played. The symphony of unity and diversity, of order dancing with chaos, of a universe learning to sing with many voices as one. Maya couldn't hear the music, but she could feel it in every fiber of her being. And in that feeling, she knew that humanity had given the galaxy something far more precious than victory in battle. They had given it a new way to sing.